They say your final breath is the heaviest thing you will ever leave behind. But what if someone was there to catch it in a bottle?
Lucius spent 40 years in the shadows of the dying, holding hand-blown glass jars to fading lips. He believed he was saving their souls, but the jars had a different hunger.
Every jar he sealed with heavy black wax was placed on a shelf, glowing with a faint, misty light. He never stopped to ask why his own reflection in the glass grew older with every single seal. I watched him work once, long ago, back when my own hair was still dark and my timeline was whole. The trouble began when Clara arrived, begging him to return her late husband's final breath. She claimed the house had grown freezing cold, and something was scratching inside the walls. Lucius refused, claiming the dead must remain sealed for their own peace. But that night, the seals on the shelves began to crack, one by one.
He ran to his ledger, checking the names written in ink that never fades. But the names were dissolving into formless, black stains.
I know how this ends. I always do. But Lucius was blind to the toll of his own preservation.
He grabbed his mirror and realized the truth had been staring back at him all along. His face in the glass was not 50, it was 90.
For every year of peace he locked away in those jars, a year of his own life had been quietly drained to pay the toll. The dead did not owe him. He owed them.
In a panic, Lucius began smashing his collection, trying to breathe the stolen years back in. But the mist didn't return to him. It flowed toward the door.
Clara stood there in the threshold, her arms open. The mist of her husband's breath was wrapping around her like a warm, protective embrace.
As the final jars shattered, Lucius's hands turned to dust, crumbling like old parchment. He had traded his entire future to build a tomb.
He wanted to scream, but there was no breath left in his lungs to carry the sound. The townspeople found the archive empty the next morning. Only the glass jars remained, all broken, except for one. On the top shelf sat a single sealed bottle, completely dark inside. Some say it contains Lucius's own final breath, waiting for someone to open it. Or perhaps it was simply the weight of his regret, solidified into a shape that can never be free.
But Clara never returned to that room. She knew that some things are meant to be let go, and some debts must be paid in full.
As for me, I learned long ago that trying to write your own escape only leaves you scattered across the pages of others. My own ink was dry before I ever held the pen, and my final breath is a debt I can never pay. Tell me, if you could buy one more year of life, whose breath would you steal to pay for it? Choose carefully. The jars are always listening.